Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Fantasy Football Scout YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be reviewing Groups C and D of the upcoming Club World Cup, talking about the best potential fantasy picks for each team, and also talking about how the group's going to finish, who's going to win the group and who are the best picks from the group. But before we get into that, of course, if you could drop a like and subscribe on the video, that would be massively helpful to the channel, helps with the growth, helps with the people who might find this content interesting to see the video as well. So if you could do that, that would be absolutely fantastic. But before we get into it, not before we get into it. We have got before we get into it. Now let's get into the video. So this is Group C. You've got Bayern Munich, you have got Benfica, you have got Boca, and you have got Auckland City. Let's start with the winners of the group, who I obviously think are going to be Bayern Munich. In terms of their best picks, actually, let's talk about the coefficient first. They got in through the coefficient, so basically finishing well in the Champions League in consistent seasons between 2021 and 2024. A lot of these teams, by the way, have not won stuff. They are in through the coefficient. You're going to hear me say that a number of times today. But yeah, they got in through the coefficient. In terms of their best assets, in my opinion, when I have a quick look, is Upamecano, I think 5.6 million, nailed as well, starter for Bayern Munich, so that's something to bear in mind. Neuer, I don't mind, but I just think you can get better for the price point that he's at. There's also a potential defender who could start, which is a guy called Adam Azanu. He was a 4 million defender who could start for Bayern Munich. So if they go a bit weaker, they do play Auckland in the first game. So potentially if they do go a bit weaker, he might be one to look out for at 4 million. If you get a Bayern Munich defender for a 4 million starter, he could be the bargain of the whole team. And also people might not know about him, so you might get them extra points for being a bit of a differential. In terms of the other assets, I think Michael Olise. Interesting with Olise, he was actually the highest scoring player in Bundesliga fantasy completely, which I think quite an interesting point to bring up. So yeah, a brilliant season from Michael Olise, as you can imagine. And of course, Harry Kane. I didn't realize, I was looking at how many goals Kane scored. He got 37 goals and 10 assists in all competitions this year. Just ridiculous seasons from Harry Kane, but nothing that you don't expect. Like, I'm always looking at them and I'm just thinking, yeah, that sounds about right. So if he does play against Auckland that first game, I think he's the best captaincy option in Club World Cup fantasy. I really think he is. So yeah, I'm going to go with them to win the group. Coming second, I am going to be prioritising, again, the European teams. I just think Benfica are going to be strong for Boca, and Auckland probably not be that strong at all. But Benfica, again, got through the coefficient method, didn't actually win anything, but just consistently doing quite well. A few interesting picks there. I think Silva in defence at 4.7 million. Their main defender, Bar, is actually injured, apparently. So depending on if he's back or not, if he's not back, I think 4.7 million to get into that Benfica defence with their fixtures could be a really decent option. There's also Pavlidis, the striker there, leading sort of number 9, who got 19 goals and 7 assists in his campaign this year. So yeah, ridiculous season from Pavlidis. I believe that's how you say it. Yeah, so I think he's potentially a really decent option there. Moving on to my third place team in the group, and that would be Boca Juniors. Now, obviously, we don't need to skip ahead. We don't need to go Group D yet of FIFA app. But yeah, let's move on to Boca Juniors. So as you can see, they're going to finish third, and obviously that would mean Auckland finish in fourth. The best picks for me, let's start with the they got through the coefficient as well. I need to stop saying that. I think every team's pretty much getting in through the coefficient. But their keeper, Martian, seems quite a decent option at 4.1 million. They've had quite a good defence, Boca. So if you do want a sort of cheap defender, I know a lot of people going with Armani of River Plate, but if you do want to go the other side and go something different, maybe Martian at Boca Juniors at 4.1 million could be a decent option. There's also an old favourite of every sort of game, which is Edison Cavani, 7.2 million, and has actually picked up 2 assists in his last 3 games. So if you do want a bit of a flash from the past, Edison Cavani at 7.2 million, I don't think it's probably the player, but you could go there if you do want to. Something to bear in mind with Boca Juniors as well, they have just got a brand new manager, so how this is all going to perform and how they're and if they're all going to play or not is a question mark. Like, there is some other good, decent picks in the Boca team, but if they are going to play based on the fact that the new managers come in and we don't really know what's going to happen there, I don't know. And something also to mention with Boca actually is the new manager actually got sacked, I think, a few years ago, and now they brought him back. So that's an interesting thing that's going on at Boca Juniors, if you do care. In terms of Auckland City, they are, I believe, the worst team on paper in the whole competition. So you'd be sort of not surprised to know that actually they, first of all, they did apply through the coefficient. I really need to stop saying that. But if you do want one pick, if you are an Auckland City fan, or you just like, I just love Auckland, and you want to pick from them, Adam Mitchell potentially at 4.7 million might be the one. He's got 2 goals this year, and he's also a defender, so he might be the pick. But I mean, realistically, you're probably not going to go with any Auckland City players unless you probably want a bit of pain. Moving on to the next group. Oh, we seem to be skipping ahead here. I do not want them two as my top 2. That's for certain. And now we're going back up again. But yeah, let's move on to Group D. Starting off, I think the obvious team that are going to win this group is probably Chelsea. Yeah, I do think Chelsea are going to win it. They've got some really nice picks. Obviously, they didn't get through the coefficient. They might have done, but they actually got in because they won the Champions League in 2021. And can you remember who scored? I'll give you 5 seconds. It was Kai Havertz. Anyway, it was 1-0 as well, I believe, the game. So, yeah, they got it because they won the Champions League in 2021. The top picks, in my opinion, from Chelsea, there's one standout midfielder who I'm sure we all are aware of, and that is, of course, Cole Palmer at 9.6 million. So quite expensive on the expensive scale, but I do think is a really decent option. So, yeah, Cole Palmer, 2 goals, as we saw, 2 assists in the conference final. Coming in with decent form. If he plays, he's going to get returns. He's also now got the number 10 shirt as well. So that might give him that extra thing to push on and do better. So yeah, Cole Palmer is actually in my Club World Cup draft as well. Moving on to the next pick. I think Levi Colwill. I think he's probably the most nailed defender. You could go Cucurella, but he's a bit more expensive. I think he's more like 5.8 million, whereas Colwill is down at 5.3. You do also get the attacking returns benefit with Cucurella. But yeah, so I think Cucurella or Colwill are decent picks. I also quite like Sanchez at 5.3 million as well, just to get that sort of what we'd expect to be a nailed Chelsea goalkeeper. He's played all season. He might not play, but I do think he probably will. So he's 5.3 million as well if you want to get in that Chelsea defence. In terms of who I think is going to come second in the group, I am going to go for Flamengo. Yeah, I think Flamengo are going to come second in the group. They, again, didn't get into coefficient. They actually got in by winning the Copa Libertadores in 2022. The best picks, in my opinion, you've got Wesley. He was a defender, I believe, 4.6 million. Already got an assist this season as well. Think he's a pretty good option. You've also got, now this is a name that is going to be quite simple for me to say. And what I mean by that is it's not going to be. D. Arrascata. He's a Uruguayan attacking midfielder, plays in the number 10 role for Flamengo. Won't be saying his name again. He's 6.2 million as well. And he's got, I wrote this down because to make our shows clear. I believe he's got 9 goals and 14 assists. Or maybe 9 goals and I think 9 goals and 40. Anyway, he has flown at Flamengo, basically, is what I'm trying to say. He's absolutely flown at Flamengo. So if you do want to pick D. Arrasqueta, the guy, the Uruguayan number 10. He's the one. 6.2 million. You will be able to find him. Third in the group, I'm going to go with LAFC. They qualified by by breaking the Club World Summit. They beat Club America in a playoff recently. So if anyone didn't know, one of Chelsea's games said they didn't know who they were playing. That was because they were playing a playoff between them and Club Americana. And obviously, LAFC got the better of them in that game. The best pick I could find from LAFC was a guy called Dennis Bokanga or something like that. It was 7 million anyway. 7 million, 7 goals and 3 assists for the season so far. Also takes penalties as well. So if you do want a bit of a player, he could be the one. 7 million, yeah, price point as well, like I mentioned. So yeah, I think he could be a decent option. And the final team is ES Tunis, how is the way of saying it, or you could go Espérance Sportive de Tunisie. I am really bad at reading names. Jesus Christ. Anyway, their best option when I did have a look was a guy called Yusuf Belici. 5.6 million, and he's got 9 goals and 6 assists so far this season. So I think if you do want to go anywhere, he's probably the one. But yeah, that is the wrap up of Group A, Group C, and Group D. So as you can see, in Group C, I had Bayern Munich to win it. I had Benfica to come second. I had Boca to come third, and I had Auckland City fourth. In Group D, Chelsea first, Flamengo second, LAFC third, and Espérance Sportive de Tunisie in fourth. I hope I haven't butchered that too bad. But yeah, thanks all for listening and thanks for watching. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. And we will catch you in the next video where I review groups E and groups F. Thanks all for listening. See you later, everyone. Bye for now.